All right, this is another of the three examples of literary criticism videos that I've posted. This one is about a short story called "So This Is Permanence" by Stephanie Soileau. Stephanie Soileau is a writer from Lake Charles, and this is a very recent book. I mean, I would say she wrote this, had it published in the last 5 years or so. So hopefully you'll find some relevance in it, and it'll be something interesting for you to write about. This, once again, these are the requirements. Don't forget that you need one source from the SLU library and one from the short story at least. Uh, Also, please remember, and I know I'm repeating myself, a, a literary analysis is not a book report, it is not a book review, it is an analysis of themes, a theme in particular that you see in the work. These are the possible themes that I've chosen. Um, I think they're pretty self-explanatory. If not, I probably explained them in the other video. This story is about a young teenage mother and sort of what she goes through. Now, please don't write a paper where you judge, where it's all about how irresponsible this teenager is. I think we can all agree that maybe getting pregnant in high school is not the most responsible act. But that's not what this is about. This is about how this young woman tries to deal with her situation and how she ends up being, um, let's say that how she handles it is not in the ways that we would approve of. We would probably think but that is not what we're looking for. We're looking for sort of her humanity and how we can relate to what she's going through. If I were going to write about identity, which is the first topic I put, I think that it's not, this is pretty easy for you to understand. We're not looking at a young teenage mother, and making judgments or setting up metaphors. We're trying to figure out how her identity is. She's trying to figure out who she is. Her mother's telling her who she is. Her sister's telling her who she is. The nurses are telling her who she is. Her friends are telling her who she is. None of which are accurate in terms of how she sees herself. This is my first paragraph, my introductory paragraph. I'll remind you again that I didn't bring in the book until the last sentence. This is the thesis statement. Stephanie Soileau beautifully illustrates this phenomenon in her short story, So This Is Permanence. The rest of it is, why am I writing this? Why do I care? Why is this important? The gender relationships in this story are pretty self-evident. We have a teenage mother. Why is she responsible for this baby? Where's the father? Why, what? It's almost like her matriarchy, her mom and her sister, the women in her family and the women in her culture have not supported her. They've not given her the kind of support that we think they probably should give her. These are all issues that you can come to terms with if you choose to write about gender. Once again, this is my intro paragraph. I do not deal with the actual story, the actual thesis statement until the last sentence. 8 to 10 sentences, guys. That's what paragraphs are in college. Escape. And when I saw an interview with the author, and she talked about how hard it is to escape from Lake Charles. That if you get on the interstate and there's a cloverleaf pattern, you can't get off if you're not in the correct lane, and you end up not even being able to escape from Lake Charles, even if you want to. And of course, once you have a small child, your options become extremely limited. Um, I didn't include anything here in the bottom yet about how it relates to the story, but you get the idea. Classism or poverty. What happens when you don't have enough money or financial support to get out of your situation? Do mistakes you made or bad choices you made We won't even call it a mistake. Maybe we could say any choice you make, good, bad, or whatever. How long do you have to in your life do you have to pay for that choice? Does it affect the trajectory of the rest of your life? That's something that you need to think about as you read this story. Don't forget to do the correct works cited page. It's in the Little Brown Handbook. I know that's thick. I know it's hard, but there's an index. Find it and do it correctly.